Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So I'll just start with the basics of the data loss prevention, what it does. And so basically, this is to detect and monitor and prevent the sensitive data information. For example, the PAN card you have in any document on or in email, or the credit card number, or the bank account number, or any debit card number. So any sensitive information that you want to protect the exfiltration of the data, that you can protect using the data loss prevention policies. So within the data loss prevention policies, we have the sensitive information types. That is a kind of rule that we create for the specific type of the data that we want to protect. So the examples that I mentioned, it can be PAN card, credit card, debit card, the bank account number or the airline account number, anything which the organization want to protect. And that protection can happen across the various locations actually, mainly the M365 products, the Microsoft products. And that
Mm-hmm.
includes like the SharePoint, Exchange emails, or the Teams chats, or the OneDrive, all those locations. And also the non-Microsoft cloud apps as well, like Dropbox or Google OneDrive, all those things also can be blocked, including the Power BI and Fabric workspaces. But there may be a limited support on this. Like, for example, based on, so for each location or area, they may have the different configurations and different support. So all the features may not be supported fully for all the locations, but most of the features that are daily required, for example, the sensitive document related to, let's say, the financial statements or any kind of project related documents are there. Any agreements are there, confidential and strictly confidential documents are there, which need to be protected by sending through email. So we can block that action using the data loss prevention policy. So the rule that we set is through the like SIT, sensitive information types, through which, and there are multiple options are there also, like enable classifiers are also there. Multiple other options are there through which we can detect the sensitive information. So one part is detection and taking the action through the policy. So either we can warn to the end users or we can block the action also. So both the options are available. So initially when we will start, we just start with the simulation mode. We will identify the locations where the sensitive data is located. For example, I give the SharePoint site details and I upload some sensitive information there related to, let's say, credit card or PAN card details, or even the healthcare records, the patient like medical reports kind of thing. So any type of data we can detect using this policy. And in the simulation mode, it will not impact the end users. The important factor when we develop the data loss prevention policies are like multiple things are there. But major one thing is like we should not block or like have the business impact across the organization. So whenever we are doing the data loss prevention policies, it is going to affect the whole organization based on what the location we select basically. So these different locations are available, including the Copilot or the Azure AI as well, Azure AI Service, M365 Copilot agents, SharePoint, and the on-premises location also. And then the important one is the endpoint protection. So this is mainly the Windows OS or the Mac OS that also we can detect. The browsers, the web traffic we can, and the network traffic as well. So we need to select the location, and based on the location and the policy rule and configuration, the detections will happen, and the warning or action based on what we configure will be taken, and the reports will be also generated within the purview. So when we create this policy, it will also generate the email alerts. Also, alerts will be generated inside the Microsoft Purview tool as well. So as I mentioned, the actions can be like show warning to the users that this document contains the sensitive information. And we like rely on user to take the necessary actions rather than we blocking that. Or if we
Well,
need,
but how will we have to designate things as so you're saying that the first point of action will be what is sensitive,
yes,
right?
correct. Yes.
So we have to
So you will
create like a use case where we have to kind of find
block.
all those
Yes.
scenarios where which are kind of List
sensitive.
of information which is sensitive.
Yes,
Or can we use classification on documents to make it sensitive?
both we can do. Yes. So that comes
Hmm.
under the information protection. So there is another solution. So when we
Hmm.
talk about the purview, it is the combination of multiple solutions. So one part is, let's say, the data catalog, the data governance related part. One is this data loss prevention. One is the information protection. Another is insider risk management. Another one is e-discovery. So multiple solutions are there, and some may be linked with each other. So as you rightly said, with the data classification also, we can block these actions. So that will be also one of the scenario that we will see. We will create the labels and then we will block sending that through the email. So we have to
Okay.
create that policy based on the the classification, data classification of the document.
Okay.
So either we can warn the user or we can block the action also, means doing something like sending the email, for example. So that depends on the business use case or what the business want to do. Mainly, we need to involve the stakeholders from the risk point of view and the business or the sponsors as well. So mainly risk teams or CISO, DSOs can come into this picture and then they can provide that information. Or if you are the owner, you need to create these business use cases based on the understanding what is the sensitive data that your organization want to protect. So that can depend on the, like in this case, it's a banking domain. You can block whatever the banking account number, the customer name itself can be the sensitive information. If it is healthcare, it can be patient record. So depending on the domain, the data will change. Based on that, we need to create or use the existing pre-built information types, or we need to create the custom ones. We have the custom policy options also. Then the classifiers are also there to enable classifier. Multiple other things are there which we can discuss and set up the where we can cover all types of, or we will try to cover that the sensitive data. It should not leak across from the organization. So sometimes it can be combination of multiple rules also. So where we will detect that sensitive information. So one basic thing is the regex expression that we can use. One to create this credit card related pattern. Another format is this is built in also available. But what rule they have internally used, we don't know. So it may detect or it may fail also based on whatever the information is there in the document. So there can be false positives also or false negatives also. So those possibilities are also there. So when we want the exact match, there are exact match also there, exact data match classifiers are also there. Then what you mentioned, the data classification labels are also there. Custom SITs are there, built-in SITs are there. So multiple options are there through which we can detect the sensitive information across the documentation, and we need to select the location where we want to apply the policy or the rule and the action that we want to take.
In this
We can.
case,
Hmm.
how would now the problem you'll face is that what is sensitive, right? So essentially, all the names cannot be sensitive, right? So if somebody is sending something through email which has names, then we can't just flag it because there's names in it, or we can't flag because there's a credit card ID there, right? So how does it distinguish between a real case and a false positive?
So that need to be decided with the sample data. So for example, financial statements are there, so we can give those specific financial statements and the pattern to Purview, and based on that, it will also detect. Whatever the specific names also we want to detect, we can provide those specific names only, and we can create the custom SIT or custom rule also for those specific names. So it will only detect those names, and if those are matching, then it will say this is a sensitive data, and whatever the action we decided, it will take that action accordingly.
When you say names, mean do you mean the names of customers? So we can say all the names of the customer which we have in the company will be added so that if but it's possible that we are addressing an email to the customer also, right? So let's say all the name of the customers are added to the list. That okay, if something like this happens, then we should. But we are talking to the customers as well, right? So how will that work?
So in that case, we may not want to block that data. So it is up to, let's say, internal, if for some other locations you want to block that action or block the users of that data across the other SharePoint site. So you can detect that. For example, it is designed to only one division, but that data is leaked to another division, and that person is also trying to send that to, let's say, Gmail account or somewhere else. So those things can be blocked. Yeah, but there can be ambiguities that we need to clarify by creating the specific custom rule. The rule need to be clarified by what action or what kind of data detection we want to do.
Are
And
there
in
already predefined templates
yes,
already? They are predefined. Okay.
predefined are there, but again, as I mentioned, let's say this credit card detection is there. But what rule Microsoft has created inside as a rejects pattern, or what exactly the logic they have developed, that we don't know. So it may match or it may not match. So we have to mostly go with the custom rejects patterns or the custom SITs.
Hmm.
So that's the first step, like as you mentioned, how to define the sensitive data. So that you need to do the brainstorming within the organization, come up with some of the use cases, and like the locations where you want to detect that data and what action you want to take on those. So that need to be clarified first.
Right. Okay.
And then you start with, yeah, using the built-in ones if the straightforward things are there. So no need to invest more time on that and get the built-in ones and see if it works in the simulation mode or by checking on the specific location also.
When you say simulation mode, how will the simulation mode work?
Simulation will show the detection of those documentation. It will not do any block action to the users.
Okay. So it's like basically almost testing in production kind of thing you're saying.
Yes, yes.
So it will be implemented in production, but no action will be taken. It will
No
just tell you
impact.
what it's doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Okay.
impact. It will just show you like which are the locations or documents which contain that sensitive information.
So then you can basically keep changing the logic until you're sure and
Yes,
then basically
correct.
implement it.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
how much
Iterative
time does
process.
the simulation normally like so these things will never be implemented as a knee jerk, right? So they will run in simulation for a long time and then you will basically analyze what's happening, then you will implement it.
Yeah, that depends on like what approach you want to take, but it is recommended to go with the simulation. So that is 1 to 2 weeks to detect all these and identify these and improve the logic. And then
Uh-huh.
another option is you can choose one specific location instead of the simulation and directly block or warn actions can be also seen using that specific location area rather than applying it across the whole organization.
Yeah. So you can select domains where this needs to be applied.
Yes, the specific
So
area. Yes.
how will you decide the domain? The domain will be through like domain names or
It's not
when
domain, it's basically the locations that you have on the SharePoint, let's say, or the team's locations or the endpoint locations. So
okay.
it
So you can just
or
specify the location.
email. So yeah, email, SharePoint, uh, the uh, the Windows VM or Mac OS VM and chat teams, all this. So we need to decide those first.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So based on that, you can do the policy creation, you can evaluate the rule, and it is kind of iterative action. It is not like just plug and play thing. So whatever is developed, it may take like up to 24 hours to sync and get you the detection working. So we have to wait. Actually, that's what. So if you are doing the changes also, it will take time again because
I
it
think we're
has
just
to
going through
reach.
the theory at the moment, right? So each practical scenario will be very different, isn't it? Quite
Yeah, yeah,
cumbersome,
correct, correct.
complex.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, yeah. So I'll show some of the demos, like for example, the healthcare records or the credit card detection or PAN card detection. I'll show the multiple other detections, how the tooltip will be shown, how the action will be blocked from the email. Also, I will show how it will pop up that and it will disallow user to send that email. So
What is being used at the moment? So like in corporate life, like at the moment, like let's say email and everything. Do you think Microsoft Purview is being used to do that, or other tools are there which are being used to do this?
Mainly Purview is there. There are like other tools are there, Colibra is there, but that is also data governance tool. But I don't think for the compliance related part with M365, the major thing is the Purview only. I don't see any other solutions.
In the Purview set of suites, which one is the most popular? Is it the data log and the mapping, or is it the DLP?
Data governance and DLP both are there. Then additional services, maybe I'll share the another screen to show you these. I am trying to set up that account. Just a minute. Can you see my browser?
Yeah.
So previously, just two separate Purview portals were there, like one was data governance and one was for the compliance related thing. Now they have combined both of these into the new Purview portal where we have these multiple solutions. We can see all these solutions here.
There's
So
only one solution point now, and then inside there are more other solutions. Okay.
inside that, like multiple setups and configurations are there. So if we see this risk and compliance, we have this communication compliance manager, e-discovery, information barriers, data governance, data catalog, data lifecycle management. Then data loss prevention is there, data say DSPM is there, data security posture management. So information protection is there. So the one that you mentioned where we need to label the data. So the labeling will happen through this information protection. What type of labels is it, like public, internal, confidential, or strictly confidential? That labeling will happen through this information protection, and the detection or action will be taken through the data loss prevention. Then we have this e-discovery insider risk management also. So mainly this information protection, data loss prevention, insider risk management, and the data governance related are majorly used. So this will appear, all the solutions will appear based on the license part. So there are two things within this purview also, like one option is pay as you go model. So some of the features are part of the pay as you go model and some of the features are part of the E5 license. So it is a combination of this both. So, but based on the requirement, you can just go ahead with, let's say, the E5 license, for example.
Which is the E5 license?
That is M365 E5 license.
And how much is that normally?
I think that's for 25 users or something. It's like for $45 per month something.
Yeah. And there's a minimum number of users for that?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's 25.
Is the minimum,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. For with the one account, one license you get
Okay, okay, sure.
per user. Per user, it is per user per month.
Per user per month. Okay, fine.
Yeah, if we go for annual, it will be reduced.
Okay, okay, fine.
There is something they have also created new one that is E7 license also. Yeah, if you see this one E7 license pricing plans. So I think like based on the corporate related things, they may give more discounts as well. So
Yeah,
usually the partner channels will be there through which you will get more discount.
yeah, of course, yeah.
So here you will get like more things based on whatever the license we choose, the annual or monthly plan. And here they will show the apps and the features. E3 license is also there, but it will have limited compliance features, the purview compliance features. This is the
Yeah.
middle range, we can say the standard one, the E5.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah, let me share this link also with you and click on this. Maybe I'll share it separately. So any
Mhm.
question on this purview portal? So the
No, no, I
URL
think
is
I understand. Yeah, I
hmm,
understand.
yeah. So this is through directly you can log in once you have the E5 license assigned to the user. And other part, as I mentioned, like you need to use the Azure subscriptions also. So if you are not aware of the Azure portal, I'll take the one session on that as well to explain the hierarchy within the Azure portal. So that will be pay as you go subscription. So it is a combination of the license plus some of the features, additional features, which will be part of the data loss prevention or any other solution can be combined with that pay as you go model where you will be charged based on the uses, not in terms of the license.
Got you. Okay.
So here, like I was just trying to set it up, but I need to do more things. Like I need to assign those licenses. So it will get created. The data loss prevention. Right now, it's not showing here because all the tabs are not visible because the license assignment is still pending. I need to do that. So that will happen through the marketplace. This is M365 Admin Center. So we also need like Microsoft 365 admin as well, along with like what you do as a purview administrator. So we
Okay.
need to assign those licenses from the list which is available from the products from the marketplace. So there is one purview suite is also available which we need to assign. So I just created one account today and trying to set it up for this training. So we can see these various licenses for different use cases. So if I have to use Microsoft 365 Copilot in Purview, I need to purchase that as well. So if you see here, we have this option of using the Copilot here also, and inside each specific solution as well. So it's not there everywhere. So you can see powered by Copilot. So it's not there for all the solutions. For data loss prevention, it is there. So we can use that to work on the prevention policies, but we need to have that license as well. So it is Copilot license plus E5 license plus the subscription based license as well, or the pay as you go model. So combination of multiple things. So they have made it very complicated actually when you use the specific solutions and the added features of it. And you need to do these assignments from here, from the M365. This will be mainly done by the M365 admin. But when you create your personal accounts, you can try from this area and you will be having access to emails and based on whatever you choose as part of the license, either E3 or E5. So that based on that, you will get like access to Purview also and additional things you need to add it from here. So I
Okay.
think
Okay.
here we can search for Purview suite. If you see, it will be assigned to that user. So let's say if I try to see this one, it will assign those solutions, then only it will appear there in the Purview for my account. Right now, I don't see, I see this information protection, but that's also not enabled. It's just showing me the information. It's not showing me the policy creation part. So here
Right.
also
Right.
in the data loss prevention, I don't see the option of creation of the policies or the classification rules. So for that, I need to use these like additional things.
Hmm.
So once these are used, those will be available there.
Okay. Basically, it's very complicated to actually they've made
Yeah.
like into different parts. Yeah. Okay.
Different parts, yes. And the other locations are like the endpoint locations. So you can do this inside the machines also. Like you can block actions to upload the data on the sensitive, let's say the filling the form, wave form, uploading the data to the Dropbox or OneDrive. That also you can block the actions, or just the copy action within the Windows machines or Mac machine also that you can block. It is supported for Windows 10 and 11 and Mac OS. It is supported. For Windows Server, it is not supported. You can also block it onto the on-premise file servers as well. So multiple locations are there where you can block the data. So based on that, the reach will change the where it need to reach to these areas, the policy reach from these various locations, and that's how it will increase the impact also. So these endpoints are there, browsers, network drives are also there, the on-premise servers are there, SharePoint servers are also there. So multiple things are there. So we need to decide the specific use cases that are required. So first, starting point will be identifying the data, defining the locations, and what actions you want to take on the data, on the sensitive data. So cloud uploads are there. So it will block those. It will detect that and block. And web traffic is also there. So multiple options are there, locations are there, and these multiple policy sensitive rule types are there which we can use.
Right.
So any question on this one?
I think at the moment we're just going through the in a very high level approach, isn't it?
Yeah, we will do deep dive like one by one. I will be showing the things like I was not able to set up the account just before this call. I have like asked Ganesh to share with the previous two recordings where you can just you do not need to go like with all the like recording. You can just move forward and see the specific areas where I have shown on like how to see the detection, how the policy works.
Okay.
Maybe I'll see if I can show that here also,
Mm.
or he will share these two recordings from the previous class.
Yeah.
Just like what we are going to cover as part of this training. So I'll be also sharing the like the slides and the sample documents as well, which we are going to use as part of this course. You are able to see my browser or no?
I see your browser, yeah.
Okay. I thought I was sharing that one. I'll show that how it will detect this one. Somewhere I had, I think that's a different one. Just a minute. Yeah, this one, if you see here, it is showing the policy tip. You are able to see my screen, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So if
Sample
you see,
Saudi financial data for the LP. Yeah.
yeah, so I just added this IBAN. I think it's bank account number, then some code and credit card details, some sample data. This item conflicts with the policy in your so this policy type we can customize. So we can create that kind of details and what action we want to check on this one. So it will detect and highlight that, give the warning sign that this data contains the sensitive information. So if you see this under data loss
Mhm.
prevention, we see policies, we
Policies.
classify.
Okay.
classifiers, the explorers, diagnostics, and the other areas also. So once I will set up that count, I will be able to see these classifiers and all these alerts also will be generated. And when we create the policies so for example, I have created this Saudi Arabia financial data related policy. So I can use it into simulation mode. So if you see simulation is in progress, I can turn the policy on also. So based on the location that I had selected and all those details, it will detect. Yeah, so here we have the options to select the locations.
Would
So
you
yeah,
say
this
mostly most of the work which we are going to do is mostly it's mostly customization, right?
correct. Yeah.
So if I'm working as a product owner, then we actually work on the test data and on the test machines, and you basically create the policies, and then you have basically asked them to be applied by the actual admin, right? So,
No, you are the owner. If you are doing the everything in the purview, you are the owner to do that across the locations. Yeah, you just need access to all those areas. For example, all the SharePoint locations you will need.
mhm. So it will
You
not
need
be like, so it is not like you are actually going to implement it. First, you do everything in design and test and then implement. It's
no,
basically everything will be done through almost like live implementation.
yeah, you just switch the location areas here and the mode, simulation mode or live mode.
Right, and then you have to and then basically you will be given the access to the admin of Purview, and then when you apply these policies, they will take hold immediately
Within 24 hours.
within 24 hours. Okay.
Here also somewhere I have mentioned that in this demo. So there will be admin units also where to which user groups you want to do. So if you see it is a full directory to the whole
Mm.
organization. For example, this admin units.
So then, can we, like in typical organization, would you have Purview implemented for a particular area, or how does it work?
That can be also possible. So yeah, that depends on the use case, what you want to define as part of your information protection or data loss prevention policies. So
Okay.
the first thing is use case definition. Important thing is highlighting that one. And then you can choose the locations here. If you see SharePoint sites, OneDrive accounts are there. So where you want to block them. So if you see pay as you go billing needs to be set up for to configure policies for non M365 data sources. So
Right.
M365 data sources are covered with the license, but if we need the additional things, non Microsoft products, there we need the pay as you go model. So it will incur the additional cost.
And that is, so basically, would there be a account behind it that the more you use, the more you spend, or is it like,
Yes, yeah, based on that, yes.
but how do we pay for that? Like each time we have to
That will be
pay,
subscription billed, monthly billing will be there.
monthly billing will be there. Okay. So you can add stuff, but then that will be added.
Yeah, that will be charged separately, yes, based on what you choose the configurations or features within the Purview data DLP.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, perfect. Let's carry on.
Yeah, locations you can select. So if you see devices are there, instances are there, on-premise repositories, teams also you can cover, and then web traffic is also there. So here we define these rules actually, credit card number, SWIFT code, IBAN. So we provide these rules, SITs basically. And then we want to notify the users, like if the data match happens, we provide that alerts will be sent to these people. So the person who had
Okay.
created that sensitive data and the admin of the purview. Email
Okay.
notifications will be sent showing that this data, this file contains this sensitive information.
Okay, so when people want to, so let's say I have a SharePoint site and I want to restrict access. So when people want to get access, so that process is also done through DLP, you're saying?
No, that will be the access provisioning happening through the SharePoint
SharePoint.
administrator.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But if you
That's
get
something different.
access to SharePoint and after that you want to block the specific documents only, there you can use the DLP.
Okay. So I think the most safe thing will be to run in a simulation phase, or if even if you make it live, then it should be at a
Limited
point where
area.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, it should be basically like a alert. It should be an alert motion, alert kind of
Policy
it should
tip.
not block. Yeah, it should
Yeah,
not
yeah.
block anything until we are sure that we're doing. It should be mostly like, it's something we're providing you a kind of alert that you're doing this, right? That
Yeah.
should
So
be the first way of going through it, isn't it?
correct. Yeah. That's what we are going to discuss that phases also. How should you plan that? So first,
Yeah.
all couple of discussions will be on theoretical part, and then we will move to the actual implementation of the various use cases of the classifiers. So here, if you see, we can customize the policy tip. So we can provide that as I shown that example in another demo that it contains the sensitive information and all those. So we can customize that message also here using the policy tips.
Okay. Okay.
And then once the rule is completed, so here we specify notify users. So if we disable this, they will not get the email alerts. If we enable this, they will get the email alerts as well as this will be shown into the policy tip, whatever we customize just before.
Mhm.
So lot many configurations are there. Based on that, it will take the required action. And once we enable this, it will be it will take around 24 hours. So here we
So we can
create a
look at it. Yeah.
combination of this. Let's say if that document contains credit card number, SWIFT code, and the IBAN, then detect this as a sensitive data document, for example, or the Saudi Arabia financial data in this case. So policy name that I have given is the Saudi Arabia financial data.
So,
So
uh,
again, region specific things may change. Yeah.
so also, is it possible to, does actually Microsoft Review give you all the use cases which are normal? Like, what can happen? Like the use case you have just mentioned, does it give you those templates? Okay, these 50 kind of, leaks can happen. Do you have a list of those leaks? Like those will be common issues across organizations, right?
Built-in, yeah, built-in policies are there, but the issue is that it may not detect the data that your organization is having. So
Okay,
there
so you
can
have to
be
pick the policies as per the data you
document.
have.
Yeah. So there are options provided by the Microsoft. The built-in policies are there. I will show
Mhm.
that two parts like built-in and custom policies. So both are available, and then you need to mostly we go with the custom option actually based on what data we have and what data we want to protect. So you can go with the built-in also, and you can create your custom also. So if you are going like with understanding and analyzing these things, you can go with the built-in that is easy to use. It won't take much time, and go with the iterative process like 6 months, 1 year plan, or 2 years plan. How you want to build the whole compliance related setup for the organization. And you will not be the alone person deciding these things. Let's say you are just the purview compliance administrator. You will be just doing the implementation part. The business decision should come from the business people or the stakeholders or the risk
Right.
committee.
So
So you
basically,
will
they will
just
come up with a scenario. This is what we want to
correct.
implement,
Yes, yes.
and then we will find the most feasible way of implementing it. So you're saying that uh, the scenarios will not come from my side. It's the implementation part will be something which will
You
be
are
done through the product.
technical responsible person for purview related things. The
Mhm.
decision, if you are part of the decision making committee, then you can decide what you want to protect. And based on that, you can apply that implementation inside the purview DLP.
They will say, okay, we have a problem. So so the risk, so somebody who basically logs the risk for the organization. They will say, we have come across this particular risk where this
Correct.
particular information, this particular area is actually liable to be lost.
Sensitive. Yeah.
How can we then plug that loss? How can we
Yes. So
basically create some kind of either alerts or the full blockage? So essentially, you will be implementing it, but the background information. So basically, all the wealth of the information of what needs to be done will be given to you. It's just the scenario will be given to you. You just need to. I think that it will not be difficult because you just need to practice how to implement this, isn't it?
That is correct. Yeah. But the problem is that whatever couple of things are there, whatever we configure, sometimes it doesn't work. There are like Microsoft backend issues are there. So this tool is not like fully foolproof working thing actually. So
You're saying
even though
that
you
in DLP it might be hit and trial, but are you saying that, yeah, because there must be engine somewhere which actually looks at these things and then does a matching, isn't
fail
it, to
in the
give a
backend, they can fail
so
in the backend also. Yeah.
okay, fair in the back end. So okay, so you have used this tool to say that there will be scenarios where they are implemented, but it will still not give the desired result because it doesn't work.
Yeah, because of the
Essentially,
tool limitation, or in that case, we have to raise a ticket with Microsoft. So it is not
okay.
always the issue of your knowledge or what you applied the configuration. It is the tool issue can be there. So you need to understand that part also, and you need to raise a ticket with Microsoft. They will have the backend log access, and based on that, they will fix that issue in the backend, or they will suggest the changes in the configuration. So that can also happen. So it is an very iterative process. So in
So
one
in
of the
that
slides,
case,
hmm,
yeah. So in that case, I think so. You're saying that DLP is not a 100% product. Sometimes your customization might not be foolproof. Sometimes the way you're doing it will not match with the data which we are actually,
correct.
you can't
Yeah.
have the
So
exact data set, right? So it's just based on probability. So data governance catalog will be a much better use case because that is foolproof, right? So assets creation, lineage, all that is foolproof, right?
that
That is
is
much more
foolproof.
stable.
No, that is not going to do anything kind of blockages with your
No,
data.
no,
It
of
is
course.
just,
That is a repository. That is just
yeah,
okay. I
yeah,
have
yes,
assets for a particular domain, so I have put those assets there. Then I have put who is the
yes,
owner, who is the steward for that, what is the
yes,
PII.
correct. Yes,
So
yes,
that is
yeah,
the if somebody wants to say, okay, tell me the
yeah,
assets, important assets for a particular domain, then we can
that
get
is
them out.
correct.
But
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes,
but do you
yeah.
get quality also implemented through data
Yeah,
catalog, like data quality?
they have recently added that data quality rules inside this new Purview portal. It was not there previously, just
Okay, so
1 year
now
back. Hmm.
Okay, so now what you can do is you can say if a particular data set, let's say it's not complete, or maybe we can say if it's not. So let's say the automated rules we have to say if it's null, right? Then it will let you know, or if it's beyond a certain limit, it will let you. So those can be deployed as
Yes,
well. You're saying,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay,
Yeah, we
okay,
can run those through
automated,
data quality. Yes.
and that's like pick and plug, like plug and play kind of thing. It's not even like you have to write SQL for that. You can say, okay,
No,
this is a
no,
data
no, no.
set.
There are built-in data quality rules available that we can use in the Purview.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
That is
Okay. So
part of,
that's
yeah,
that's more
all that
promising.
data.
That's
Yeah,
more
that
promising than is.
yes, yeah, that depends on the use case, what you want to do inside the Purview or using the Purview. So that is mainly the metadata management related part or the catalog management part.
Hmm. So what about the co-pilot side of things? So one of the main things we have at the moment is like people are taking everything they can think of because nobody's stopping them, and then putting company information into co-pilot. That is one thing which is.
Copilot admin should block those things.
But let's say if the co-pilot admin is not blocking those things, can Purview look at it?
DLP you can implement. Here we have seen somewhere in the locations we can use that.
So DLP we can implement somehow
Yes,
the loss of
yes.
emission through Copilot. So if we say these set of data cannot be entered into Copilot, basically, or can we also
Here
say
you,
that? Okay, sorry.
yeah, here you can select that Copilot location also.
Hmm.
M365 somewhere it is there.
Okay,
So
okay,
yeah, the sensitive data you can block. So you need to create those many types of policies or rules.
okay,
What
okay.
exactly you want to block. So it will
Got
not
it.
allow
Got it.
them to send that as a prompt also. Within that also usually means when we create custom agentic AI solutions, we create guardrails actually. So in the Copilot, there must be guardrail options also, which need to be customized by the Copilot admin, where you can protect what data can be avoided. For example, violence-related words or hate. or like any kind of different types of the sensitive data, general sensitive data, that also you can block. If
Can
you
you
see this
actually, and normally just
M365
one question.
Copilot chat, yeah.
Okay. So one question I have is that can you, so in normal deployments, so you might have knowledge about this, in normal deployments across banks, at that point, does Copilot have a chance to go back to the internet or just is using the pre-trained model? Do they actually have access to the net to get the information
There
back?
are two options we can set: work and web related options are there. So if you disable the web related part, it will just do whatever the data that your organization is having related to M365 products. It will not go outside or and on the internet and get the new data information.
It,
Whatever
but
is
it can use the training. So let's say if it has been trained on certain data, then it can use that training to generate the answer, but it will not be able to get fresh perspective from outside if the web is logged in. Yeah.
web is switched off or turned off
Okay.
for the Copilot. It will not go outside of your organization. Whatever the M365 product related data that your access or your organization is having, it will give the answers based on that,
Got
and
you.
the
Got you.
whatever the knowledge it is having based on the existing trained thing.
Yeah. Trained, whatever it has been trained so that it can use that training. But
Training
yeah,
plus M365 product information
product
of your
information.
organization.
So mean it can look at emails on all that SharePoint and all that
Email,
information.
chats, it will look everything. It will give those references as well, and it will, let's say, summarize the things for you also based on all the data or whatever emails and chats you have.
Okay.
So you can
Okay.
block like
Okay.
uploading the files to it using the Copilot admin. So that's the reason I'm saying it's not the single person responsibility. It is the stakeholders, business stakeholders come into play into this area.
No, no, I think I understand. Okay. No
Yeah.
problems. So I think it went I think it's good. Let's I will I will talk to Ganesh tomorrow. I think I'll call you early in the morning, like 7, 6, 7, 8, whatever, like 7, 8, 9, whatever, right in the morning. And then we'll work out the plan, the payment plan kind of thing. And then we can start the first I think class. I was thinking of doing it tomorrow, but I think early morning is better because you're fresh. So um, you get more in, isn't it? At the moment, I have worked like for like 9 hours direct, so the brain is already fried. So I'll work something out, but let's
Yeah,
start the
just
process. Yeah.
let us know the time slots and the things so we
Yeah.
can proceed accordingly. If you need, like Ganesh will share these recordings as well. Once I'll be able
Yeah.
to set up the things, I can show the demos into the uh, purview. But yeah, some of the initial sessions will be on explaining the theoretical part. Also, I'll be explaining the Azure related part as also the Azure portal related, how these two things are integrated, and the M365 admin and the SharePoint admins will be also there. Email exchange will be there. So we will be integrating with multiple things. Some of the things, as I mentioned, I won't be able to show, for example, the endpoint protection related part, but I will show what configurations are required. Everything I have documented in the PPT. Anything required, I'll add that as we go during the discussions.
Yeah. So first of all, let's try to set up everything, right? So first few sessions, we will let's not go theoretical. What we'll do is we'll set up every all of the moving parts. So if I have to buy all the stuff which I need to buy on, then I'll buy those stuff and we'll set everything up and then we'll start working on it. So let's start with the practical rather than just, because
No,
until I
no,
do it
this,
myself.
a couple of things are important, like when you go with this implementation part, because there are multiple scenarios, pros and cons, and things need to be done through the iterative way. There is a
Yeah.
setting plan actually. It's not just the implementation part. So once you also understand that, like I have highlighted this in the previous training also,
Okay. Okay.
because business comes with the requirement, let's say, and they want to do it immediately. You need to understand the implications of it. It's not just, and I also mentioned that this is not plug and play, similar to, let's say, the data governance related part. So the uh, planning data loss prevention is very important part. So maybe we'll spend
Mm.
some time on this also. who
Okay, so you're
should
saying
be.
that data governance is basically plug and play, so that it doesn't actually impact anything because it's just storage of the data, right? It's just
It's
structuring
just
it properly.
capturing that, yeah, because this will, uh, because there is one live example also. One of the user, he had done the policy creation and it got applied to the whole organization in one of the airline industry, and he got like multiple escalations for that
Yeah, I can
because
imagine.
so so that's the reason implementation, before implementation, the planning part is very important. We can go ahead with the implementation. We can select the rules, all those things. We can see all the types of rules also. So we'll be going step by step. If you want to jump directly, we can go that part as well, and you can go through these slides later on if required. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's good. So, perfect. I'll talk to Ganesh and then we'll get this ball rolling on this. Yeah, thank you, Yogesh. It was very useful.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Okay,
you,
bye.
Kesh. Thanks for it. Thank you, Nista.
Bye. Bye.